Okay, welcome everybody. Thank you. So the title of my talk is Transformative Dry Solvent-Free Printing and Deposition Technology. And this is a new technology that we're developing actually at UDC and now a subsidiary that was initially for OLEDs, for OLED TV, but we're now sort of pivoting away from that as the investment thesis for new equipment for OLED TVs has sort of been pushed out several years, and looking at some very exciting other applications for the technology that I'll get into. But at the beginning, I just want to start with a little bit about UDC itself and contributions to the OLED industry. So the company is based in New Jersey, have nearly 500 people now worldwide. It includes Adhesive as a contract development and manufacturing organization based in Delaware. We also have the Universal Vapor Jet Corporation and printing, which I'm going to talk about. Our main business is making and selling the materials that make OLEDs today so efficient and so high performance. And they're made either in the US and also a manufacturing facility in Ireland. We have a lot of customer support in Asia. Actually, last week, we opened a new application center in Chengdu in China. So we now have 3 in Chengdu, Seoul, and Hong Kong. And then we also have a venture fund for strategic ventures around the core interests and maybe business model of UDC. So with that, just at a very high level, you know, we've been in the business in the beginning since the late 90s. And for those of you that were in OLEDs, I don't know anyone in the audience in those days, you know, there was something that were very inefficient and they certainly didn't live very long. So when we look at what we've done in the industry using our phosphorescent OLED technology, so this is the technology that enables you basically to get 100% conversion efficiency of electrical energy into light. And before this came along, it was just fluorescent OLED technology that had a maximum ceiling around 25% conversion. And so over the years, since, you know, over 25 years, we have roughly an 8x increase in the efficiency of the red and green emitters. And you can see over a 60,000 times increase in the lifetime of the red and green emitters. And I would wager a bet that every single one of you in this room has a cell phone with our technology in it. So it really has become ubiquitous around the world. And then our next contribution to the OLED industry will be the phosphorescent blue. We've been developing this for those of you in the industry for many years. We're close now. We've been making significant advances, and we're working closely with the industry to commercialize this technology and get it into product as quickly as possible. So with that said, just sort of what's interesting is that the OLED technology is sort of still making strides. It is gaining in efficiency, it is gaining in lifetime, and is starting to be used in more and more applications such as notebooks and larger monitors. So those are the new growths for the OLED industry. And so the applications are diversifying, and the architectures that people are using to make the OLEDs work are diversifying. But the slide here is, so if we look at it, we can see here, this is sort of the cartoon of an OLED with the emissive layer in the center, our phosphorescence being the core. Then, for those of you, again, following the OLED industry closely, there's some new mechanisms such as PSS, phosphor-sensitized fluorescence, where you use the phosphorescence to generate the energy efficiency and then transfer that energy to a fluorescent molecule that does the emission, and one can win sometimes in terms of line shape from this system. There's also different architectures. People are starting to use tandem OLEDs for increased lifetime for notebooks and other products. And then finally, we're working on a very exciting new device, which we call the plasmonic OLED, which will further enhance the efficiency and lifetime of OLED devices, actually by using physics rather than chemistry to advance the device. So very briefly, we generate the excited state particles in the center of the OLED as normal, but we quench them into the cathode and then radiate them out from this nanotached antenna array over the device. And basically, the photons are generated outside the stack, not inside, so we get very high outcoupling efficiencies and also very long lifetimes, 5x, 10x lifetime because we can quench